Hello, and welcome back to the Randomania Network for more 2018 Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament. Standard flags, and we have a quad race for you all in this round one matchup. We have the Hangry Canuck against Edgeworth on the top two screens, and playing the same seed but in a different match, we have Lavkian against synthpopisback on the bottom two screens. This is a first round match in the first of a 5-round Swiss style format to determine which of the runners are going to move on to the brackets. And I'm up to NG, and I'm joined today by Katen619. What's going on, man?
Pretty good here. I mean, looking forward to these two matchups right now, since we know there's at least, I believe, 3 strength HP builds in the race.
Yeah, just Lavkian seems to be the lone racer going with strength agility this time. The other 3 will be strength hit HP for strength and hit points. And let's see how challenging this seed's going to be. You seem to be very familiar with very challenging seeds. You had a real doozy earlier in this week, and I know you had a really rough chaos seed at one point in the chaos tournament, so you're no stranger to challenges.
That's correct. Seems like my luck's just been meh.
Yeah, we've had several seeds so far seem to go on the longer side and requiring a bit more levels than average. But a lot of the speed depends on what happens right at the beginning with the 3 chests in the throne room, and we're about to find out what that's going to be. Let's see what happens. So we're going to start off with the fairy water and some money to go along with the obligatory key. They have no spells to start with and single-digit strength score of 8, which means that they're going to need to stick with maybe Drakies and possibly Ghosts, depending on if they have a reasonable defense right now. They have kind of low hit points. Everyone so far, or most of the runners, choosing to run back to the throne room to save, so that maybe they can find an early town. And we already have an early town for synthpopisback, and it's the town of Cole, probably the best early town to find, because you could, if you're lucky, find Erdrick's armor in the search spot.
Speaking of the armor, here we go. We got the armor, so no need to buy armor for tonight, boys.
Wow, and if they have enough money, they can buy the hand axe. Now, that's a little bit dependent on the roll, and synthpopisback got a very low gold roll, so unfortunately, he's going to have to buy, I think it was the club, while some of the other runners, including Lavkian and Edgeworth, will have enough money for the hand axe to go along with the Erdrick's armor. And this could be a quick start now, because hand axe, I believe it gives plus 15, so they're up into the 20s already for attack power. And then with that, they could fight magicians, scorpions. They could get through these first few levels quite quickly. We have a scorpion for Edgeworth here. You can see that we're doing 3 and 4 damage. Scorpion so far has no special abilities, so if he can outlast him here, 16 quick experience, and that's level 2, and almost level 3 already for Edgeworth.
Ouch, and Lavkian just took a wipe to the wolf because the wolves have hurt more.
It's interesting. So Synthpop is going to stick with what he has there with the club, and that gives him a little bit of a disadvantage in these early goings here, and he's going to instead strike out and explore a little bit, running smack into a red dragon, which is exactly not what you want to see. But one of the things they actually could do, if they really thought about it, was you can restart your entire game you can erase your save file and actually start over. If you want to try and re-roll that initial gold chest, you could try and get the 560 gold for the hand axe from that initial throne room chest. It takes a little bit of extra time. You'll feel like you're a minute or 2 behind if you do it, but in some ways that might be better than just satisfying yourself with the club for now. Synthpopisback is going to try a Scorpion with just the club, and you can see how much less damage he's doing.
Up to, did you see what Edgeworth has in his spell list?
I did not notice, but we have it marked off on the tracker. It looks like we have an early Hurtmore, is that right?
Exactamundo!
So we're off and running now. And in a way, that if Synthpopisback can get to that level quickly, that will kind of neutralize the advantage in gained by the difference in the weapon. Since Hurtmore is probably the best weapon you can ask for in the early going. And Edgeworth is going to hang around the initial zones just a little bit, maybe to get one more level, and then I would bet he's going to be off and running with Hurtmore at his disposal and Erdrick's armor on his person, and already walking through a cave in the dark, and he's going to be able to Hurtmore this night for a healthy dose of experience points. And level 5.
Oh, but that speed increase is not that bad for Edgeworth.
Unfortunately, I didn't see what happened at the beginning of the Hangry Canucks game there. It looks like he had a little bit of a delay, but he is way behind Edgeworth now. He's still working on getting off of level 1 by fighting ghosts here. Apparently, maybe has not even found the early town, or has he? I see no gold to speak of there, but we don't really have a weapon marked off for him necessarily. I'll have to watch and see what sort of damage he does. Maybe he got a weapon off screen.
Well, while you were talking, Synth just got his level up to level 2, and he has his return spell as his level 2 spell.
And you can see Lavkian kind of just circling around the nearby town, trying to stick with some secondary monsters. He must have just stepped over a line there, as a red dragon is in the next zone over. I'm sure that's not what he was looking for. He was probably looking for, in the secondary zone north of the castle, you can often find some metal scorpions or some wolves. That would be some quick Hurtmoreable enemies to grab a couple of levels before striking out. And now he's going to try and find the eastern zones and maybe even just start exploring in that direction. As he is on level 4, and I believe he should have Hurtmore, correct? Was that a level 4 spell? So Lavkian...
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so Lavkian will be looking for some monsters to use the Hurtmore on as quickly as possible. And if he didn't have it then, he has it now, because he's just reached level 5. With some reasonable stat gains.
Well, Edgeworth did pick up the silver harp in that cave he was in earlier, so that's pretty much one of the key items for the magical rainbow drop coming in very soon, if it's speedy enough.
Yeah, good point there, and it's nice to have that silver harp in your inventory early, so that while you're walking around, if you happen to bump into the rain cave with the old man there, you could just take that and trade it in for the Staff of Rain without having to remember to go back there later. So it's nice to have that early on. Hangry Canuck is going to use the old man in Tantegel Castle to refresh his MP, so that he can have some to work with his Hurtmore spell. I believe he just reached level 4 as well. And Edgeworth just popping back into coal. Looks like he's just going to take an in stop here. Maybe to go back into that dungeon with as many resources as possible. Let's see what he decides to do here.
And I believe that dungeon we just witnessed was actually Mountain Cave, because the way the movement is, I wouldn't be surprised if it's that.
Yeah, that's what would make sense to me. If he's going to go back in there and he has already acquired one chest, then certainly it wasn't the Tablet Cave, for example. He's and now he has the Radiant spell at level 7, so he'll be able to see his way around. It is indeed the Mountain Cave, chock full of Hurtmoreable monsters like the Magic Wyvern. Beautiful 83 experience points for almost no effort expended. So now he'll just have a few more chests that he can go take care of, looking for more quest items and possibly even Erdrick's sword.
But what I like is these new sprites are on our screens right now for the runners.
Yeah, we have a very recent release of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer software, affording the runners many more options for sprites from all the games of Dragon Warrior 1 up through 4, I believe, and some of the Final Fantasy sprites as well. Adds a lot of fun and diversity here to these races. We may actually have 4 different sprites that we're watching right now, so that's pretty fun.
Yeah, if you're wondering which sprites are right now, Hangry Canuck has the red mage, and Edgeworth, on the other hand, has chosen the black mage. It's just the Lavkians and synth sprites. I have no idea what they are.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that the synthpopisback is a heroine from Dragon Warrior 4. I could be completely wrong about that, and I'm having trouble actually identifying Lavkians. It's a red-caped green character. I don't know if it's one of the Link sprites or if it's... At any rate, lots of options available for the runners, and they're all kind of hanging around in this area so far. Well, Lavkian now is finally going to venture out beyond the cave that we saw there and is moving out into the wilderness, but everyone else is either in the mountain cave or is kind of nearby Tanteagle Castle. synthpopisback, just reached level 5. Lavkian on level 6. And Edgeworth already up to level 8, and we are just approaching the 10-minute mark, so quick start here for our runners.
Ouch! AK-47 just wiped out Lavkian just now.
And donning the dragon scale, found in one of the chests, is Edgeworth, and he's making his way to the last chest, but he's finding a red dragon. It's going to be very difficult to run from the red dragon, and on level 8 stats, which we'll get a peek at the stats later, but we can bet that he has pretty low agility still. Probably like a 1 in 5 chance of running away from a red dragon. So we'll have to see if he chooses to go back in for the last chest, and it looks like one of those was a magic key, because he is now able to go into the backside of Tanteagle to buy more keys with the gold that he has accumulated, and then now we might get to see the treasury as well, and whatever's in the Tanteagle basement. So interesting developments once players are able to traverse through the mountain cave.
Well, here comes the treasury. Let's see what Edgeworth's gonna pick up.
Alright, we get an herb and a couple of keys. That's amusing. You could go with a ghetto key grind in theory. He's already bought several keys. But he has the gold chest activated, so he can pick up... I guess it wasn't a key on that second one because it was part of the chest glitch. And there is gold in the middle chest, so he is going with an early gold grind. Can't remember what exactly they saw in the first shop in the nearby town, but Lavkian has found Brockenary, taking a look at the shop out there. And he'll use some of that to...
I remember where the first shop had... It had Flame Sword, actually.
Well, using part of that money to refresh his keys, it looks like he's just only grinding enough up maybe for a full plate. Choosing armor and foregoing weaponry since he has the early hurt more. So that's the tactic by Edgeworth to save some time on the gold grind, just getting the necessities out of the way. And, oh, he already has the Erdrick's armor, so wait a minute. Large shield purchased for Edgeworth. We can mark him off for the large shield, and maybe he'll upgrade to the broadsword. And there you have it. So that was the plan. He's going to not bother with the flame sword for right now, apparently, and move on. While, is this the, I'm trying to watch the Hangry Canuck is, okay, he's on the bottom level of the mountain cave as well, and just before he gets to the 2 chests Oh, he manages to run away from a red dragon on an early level and grabs the cursed belt and the magic key, and that will get him started. So that is a great job running away from a red dragon. If he lost out on the opportunity to grab that key, that could have set him back with respect to his opponent Edgeworth, who already has access to keys. So nicely done. He's going to try and make his way to the final chest, getting a little bit lost with only the torch to work with, I think, but he's found the fourth chest. It's the dragon's scale, although he has not yet equipped it.
Well, actually, we kind of missed this on Edgeworth, but I saw it just a few minutes back. But the potential basement is actually Jerk Cave.
Okay, that'll be great for them to know where that is for later. And a torch was in that final chest, so Edgeworth now has that out of the way. Looks like he does not yet have the outside spell, so he has to walk all the way back out or take a death. There's plenty of decent monsters in here, though, to make this walk out. He can gain plenty of experience from these Magiwyvern while he's in here. And Hangry Canuck, it looks like he may not have made it to that last chest. He is facing a red dragon in there. But at least he has keys, so let's see if he remembers to go straight over to the key shop, just like Edgeworth did when he was there. Now, he doesn't have a whole lot of gold to work with, but he could at least get one extra key so that he can check the treasury.
And I believe Synthpop is in... Oh, never mind. He's at Mountain Cave. I thought he was at the grave.
All the runners have the same idea now, and we'll have to watch the two runners below to see if they're able to make it to that magic key before running into any red dragons, because that is going to be the key to opening up the seed here. And looks like just trying to get away from this geography of these early locations, you have to kind of go west through a little desert patch there, which has red dragons. So a little bit difficult to make progress. Edgeworth sent back home. He's back at the castle, and now he's going to explore a little bit to the south. I don't think we've seen a lot in that direction through this big desert here.
But I do see plenty of swampage.
Alright, so the Hangry Canuck, I guess he was not able to activate the chest glitch with the gold, but he did at least get the gold chest one time so that he could go back and top off his key supply with a full complement of 6 keys. So no grind available for him right now unless he wants to go back in and reactivate it. But for now, he's just exploring in a different direction to the east and is just happy enough to have the Erdrick's armor for equipment right now and the Hurt More spell to work with. And ooh, Hurt More spell by a wolf sends Synthpopisback back to the castle, while Lavkian is also in the midst of using that one magic key obtained from the mountain cave to check out the treasury and buy more keys. Now, he also, unfortunately, is not going to get the chest glitch to activate on the gold chest because he opens that up second. And so he will get 1 gold there, and he's going to be able to get all of the... Are these herbs? I think he's able to top off on herbs. But perhaps he'll use that gold to just go back and top off his key supply, and he will be off and running as well.
Well, the Hangry Canuck found the Stones of the Sunlight Cave, but that only contained gold behind it. And there's Charlotte Castle on the Edgeworth side.
Alright, one less thing to try and find for later. Synthpopisback has made the long walk around to buy some items. He only has 82 gold to work with, but he's going to grab a couple of torches. If he didn't find the dragon scale in the cave, then... oh, no, he did not. So I have not noticed if he has actually equipped the dragon scale. He's the only one we have not marked with the dragon scale, but perhaps he didn't get that far because he's going back into the mountain cave to further explore for the remaining chests that he may have missed. As is Lavkian, in fact. Perhaps both runners there were able to get as far as the magic key, but not the remaining 2 chests. So that bottom race seems fairly close because they're both kind of doing the same things at the same time. Just a slight experience lead for Lavkian right now. But they're both heading back into the mountain cave to clear that out.
It looks like east of Sharlock is feeling not so good because there's no town nearby it.
Yep, Edgeworth has just found kind of a dead-end region with some decent Heartmoreable enemies like this Rogue Scorpion. He's making his way towards the next level. We'll be at 1500 experience. And there's Sharlock. As you noted, this whole area near Sharlock seems to have nothing else going on. But using the Heartmore when necessary, like on these nights, he is down to only 5 MP after this, so he may run out of resources on this trip. But getting some good exploration done, searching out all the little edges of the map, and looking for more towns and caves.
Oh, we got a swamp cave on Edge's side.
Oh, and bonus cave on Lavkian's screen, and I missed what the item was. Maybe chat will notice for us what Lavkian just found in the bonus Stones of Sunlight cave.
Oh, Stones of Sunlight cave had just gold.
Just some gold in the Stones of Sunlight cave. So that's one more chest that we've seen. All the runners have the harp, but we're still looking for the Stones of Sunlight, which has to be in a chest. And the Erdrick's token could be in a chest, or it could also be on a search spot. We haven't really seen any of the search spots beyond the coal search spot yet, so still looking for the town of Hawksness and the town of Cantlin. And we've seen quite a few of the chests, though. Tanteagle Treasury has been raided. The Stones Cave, the Mountain Cave, so not sure if we've seen the Tablet Cave yet, but all we have left are 1 chest in the Tablet Cave if we haven't been there yet. We have the Grave with 5 more chests, and if they can find the town of Garenham, that has 3 additional chests as well.
Speaking of Garenham, Edgeworth's in there right now. It's near the swamp cave.
Alright, and he's going to use that opportunity to top off on herbs and other items, making sure that he has the scale equipped. He already does. He'll take a peek at the weapon shop here. I think he kind of has all the weapons that he's going to want for right now, maybe just looking for a potential silver shield for later. And he's going to heal up and check the back door just in case it has access to the grave. But there are 3 chests immediately available behind this door, so we'll check it out. Oh! And Erdrick's sword is found in the town of Garenham, so one less thing to have to hunt around for, and potentially that could be in Sharlock Castle, so that's sometimes a relief that the runners have that, and he will have multiple options for killing bad guys now. The best weapon in the game for plus 40, that gives him 80 attack power right now, and or he can just continue using the Hurtmore spell, and he's going to trade in his harp right now in the Rain Cave, which is in the back basement of Garenham. So great progress right now for Edgeworth.
I could probably say this, he's possibly maybe in go mode in less time right now.
Lavkian's made it through the Swamp Cave and is on the 2nd continent, and Edgeworth is finding Hawksness, one of the potential search spots where we could find the Erdrick's token. Now, he already has Erdrick's armor, just looking for the token, which is a little trickier because it could be in a chest or on a search spot. But since it's here, might as well check it out, and if it's a good enemy like an Axe Knight, well, a Stone Man will be good if they can get the sleep spell, which they don't have yet. He's going to try and take this one down with a couple of Hurtmores, but it's not a potential grind just yet. Now, he does land 2 Hurtmores in a row, which is, they have about a 50-50 resistance to Hurtmore. And the Nothing Burger in the search spot, as probably anticipated. So the token is more and more likely going to be in a chest.
And that means the Hawkins grind is not going to be worth grinding after. Probably they were grind up on maybe say the Axe Knight or the Blue Dragons.
Yeah, the Stone Man is not the greatest end game grind because for one thing, it's only worth 155 experience. And, you know, he does have Erdrick's Sword now, though, so he can probably, at the end of the game, 3-shot a Stone Man, and he could eventually put it to sleep when he has the sleep spell. If it's really a convenient location, it's not that bad. Now, it was kind of a hike to get to Hawksness. So we'll see if he decides to do that when the time comes, but for now, one of the other things that's nice about finding the sword is that if things play out a certain way, he may not even have to go into the grave. Or for example, if he finds the Stones of Sunlight in the town of Rimmildar or something like that, or in the Tablet Cave, and he finds the token on the overworld or something, then there's no need to hunt around for more chests. A lot of times, you end up having to continue looking for chests just in case the sword is there. But Edgeworth has the sword and a nice advantage now over the Hangry Canuck, who is just now checking the treasury.
And Synthpop is going for the treasury. Is he going for the gold grind?
Yeah, because he's already been in the treasury, if we recall. So he went out of his way. But no, he did not set up a grind. Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought he had already been in the treasury, so not sure. He is very close to level 8. He's just taking a pause. I wonder if he's wondering why he didn't initiate the gold grind. He may have thought that he had a gold grind initiated there, so because he went out of his way to get the gold chest third. Yeah, because I thought he had already been in that treasury, so we'll have to see how that plays out. For now, he does have the club and the Erdrick's armor, so it's not as if... And he has Hurtmore, so it's not like the equipment that he's losing out on is that big of a deal. There's no Silver Shield really close by that we've seen yet. And we have some really endgame enemies being attacked here by Edgeworth and Hangry Canuck. And they're both successful for a nice experience. Leaps. And you can see with the Erdrick's armor, they can go through the swamps without worrying about losing HP. And they can heal walk their way forward. He finished that battle with 3 hit points, and now he has 37 or more hit points as he continues to walk around in the overworld. So, kind of smooth sailing so far from here. Once in a while, they're running into something like a golem here, sending them back, but they have enough to work with to really cover this map pretty quickly now. So we're just 26 minutes in, and Edgeworth has a little over a 1,000 experience lead over the Hangry Canuck, as well as the advantage of finding the Staff of Rain Cave and finding Erdrick's Sword in the town of Garenham. And let's see, Lavkian has a 2-level advantage over synthpopisback. And we're getting a good look now at how our stats are progressing, and we can see that the strength score is really not progressing very quickly. Only 40 strength at level 10. So that will be what holds them back in the end unless they get a really big gain soon. Hit points, they are, I guess, maybe a little on the low side for hit points as well. 62 hit points at level 10 on an HP boosting build is not the greatest. It's not terrible. They can definitely survive the overworld exploration with that. But yeah, this is probably not going to be an early, level 12 or level 13 Dragon Lord fight. They have several levels left to go. And we're getting level 11 already now for Edgeworth. with a very bad level up, except for a little bit of magic points there.
Oh boy, we just got an empty eye level.
Yeah.
That is horrible.
Now, they are a little bit low on magic points as well, so I guess that was a welcome sight, but yeah, at some point they're going to need more power. Armored Knight, though, is kind of a nice enemy to run into when you have hurt more and enough hit points to withstand one attack, as Edgeworth is continuing to take those down for 172 experience and extending his lead. Hangry Canuck finding that gold chest in the bonus cave. And let's see, we have Cantlin now for synthpopisback. So we have several shops here. Maybe we can identify if any of those have the silver shield for later.
Well, we can note that for a fact that he could possibly get the coordinates right now too for synth.
And we're gonna have. Was the Erdrick sword in Garanham? Because Lavkian just opened those chests. So there it is. Erdrick sword for Lavkian, and he's going to be able to trade in his harp as well for the staff. Nice job by our trackers tonight behind the scenes. And let's see, he has a free walk to get those coordinates as they're sporting the Erdrick's armor. No damage from the damage tiles. We have 27 south, 37 east, potentially walkable. I'm trying to remember if there's water in that direction from the castle, or if that might be something they can go walk and count right away without using the princess.
Actually, it's walkable because I remember Charlotte Castle was not that far from Tantagel.
Yeah, and that was kind of to the southeast from Tantagel, wasn't it? So he has the option maybe of returning right back home to check that out, but he does already have the armor, so it's not really an emergency. We figure maybe the token is there. It's at this point it's either the token or the flute, as nobody has found the flute yet either. If you still needed the armor, it might be worth just returning back there and doing that immediately. But the token in a way can kind of wait until later. Maybe he wants to finish exploring this region first. So see how he wants to handle that. And Edgeworth checking the shop in Brockenary, still kind of looking for that silver shield, I think, just in case they end up finding the grave. They can initiate a second gold grind while they're in the grave looking for the stones.
And there goes Synth getting wiped out by red dragons again.
Yeah, red dragons seem to be kind of all over the map this time, don't they? That's kind of the one thing that's been getting in their way. Metal slime potentially here for Edgeworth, so they're out there. And Hangry Canuck has found Swamp Cave. Let's see if he checks the princess tile. Nope, he's going straight through, just checking out the second continent.
Oh, I'm sad, but Edgeworth could not get the kill on the metal slime.
Absolutely one of the more satisfying enemies to take down. Looks like the metal slime doesn't have anything nasty up its sleeve, so if you can manage to hit it 3 times, or if you can get a critical hit, it's 255 experience in a battle that really, is of no danger to you. Just takes a little bit of time sometimes, but I haven't noticed if he's picked up the repel spell. He's still kind of running into and fighting enemies like the metal scorpion. Sometimes when you get that hurt more spell early, you sort of want to have the repel spell activated. So I can just assume that maybe he hasn't learned it yet. And Hangry Canuck has also been through Garanham, so he likely has the sword and is now going to trade in for the staff as well. So only synthpopisback. Has not found Garanham yet, and the further this goes where he doesn't find it, the more of a lead Lavkian will likely have with the experience gains. Now Lavkian is grinding on the spike tile for the Swamp Cave, which happens to be an Axe Knight, so he's going to just pause here from whatever he was doing, and he is going to just get at least one more level, probably looking for that repel spell. And just some really quick experience that can be gained en route to maybe grabbing the princess, or maybe he just wanted to know what was here for a possible grind. As we saw, this is way better than grinding on that stone man if you had to choose between the two.
Well, speaking of being knocked out, Lavkian just got knocked out by AK already, so he might go back to grind some more, since he's only like 704 experience points away.
And Hangry Canuck just did check the monster at Hawksness. Not sure if he defeated it or not, but we know that nothing's there on that search spot anyways. So hopefully he has that information now and is continuing to explore the map in that direction. We have Edgeworth in that Sharlock region. I didn't catch if he counted out those coordinates yet or not.
Oh, and wizards have Dragon Lord Breath.
Ooh, surprise! So that's good to know for later, since that is a Sharlock enemy. Anytime you run into a Sharlock enemy that has an ability, you want to make a note of that in case you run into them at the end of the game. And Lavkian is going back to that spike tile with the Axe Knight, and I'm not sure if he's going for the princess or if he just wants to take this kind of middle game opportunity to grind a few levels quickly. Sometimes that's an interesting strategy when there is an Axe Knight spike tile. Even if you haven't gotten everything that you need in the game yet, if you can grind a few levels and cast Repel, now you can just cover the map so much more quickly to find those last few things, like the grave that's most likely going to have the Stones of Sunlight.
And these red dragons are just eliminating people left and right.
Alright, another town for Edgeworth, and he has found Rimuldar. There is one chest here that could have the Stones of Sunlight. Sometimes it's a little tricky when one of the key items is in this chest. It's a chest that could be missed by the runners, so you don't always think of it. He did check the shop, I think, again for the silver shield. I missed if it was there, but now let's see what's in the chest. We have the Stones of Sunlight is in the Rimuldar chest. Oh my gosh, that is interesting. So this actually, if it did play out a certain way, and he counts out those coordinates and it is the token, this could actually save him a trip into the grave. He will not have any need to check and go through the grave if the token happens to be on the overworld. I'm not sure if he's going to go ahead and count those out or if we missed him doing it. But that was very interesting. Thank you, Wolfman. Yes, I don't know how that just happened, but I'm predicting the future.
I believe the term is psychic.
We'll take it though. But yeah, that's so, Rimuldar required. We're going to have to find that town to complete the game, and that was in a region of the map that nobody else has been yet, so. And yeah, if this plays out differently for some of the other runners where they find the grave first, they're going to end up diving through the grave and not finding the stones. So that's a potential time save for Edgeworth.
I just saw on the screen that the golem have baby breath.
Ooh, that's actually kind of nice when you have Erdrick's armor. If golem has baby breath, you might want to start fighting those golems because, well, I'm not sure if they have the spell of heal more yet. I guess they don't. But once you pick up heal more, you're going to want to fight those golems because they're going to do damage less quickly to you when they have that baby breath. And we have Tablet Cave here for Edgeworth. He seems to be finding all the locations pretty quickly. I don't know that he has too much left out there to find. He hasn't seen the grave yet, but one more chest in here. Let's see what's going on. And it's not the token, so he can have one less thing to try and find the token. That's all he has left. He knows where the Jerk Cave is, I believe, and he's already traded in the harp. So as soon as he finds that token, he's done. You can just grind more levels and get ready for the end of the game. He's seen the entryway to Sharlock Castle as well, so no need to look for that. I think he's still just on the hunt for the token. I wish I had noticed if he counted out those coordinates yet.
I don't think so, because he didn't count it at all because he was just going northeast of it.
Hangry Canuck has found Rimuldar as well. And not sure what he's thinking about right now, but if he checks the chest... Well, wow, he's doing an awful lot of running around. I'm not sure what's happening there, but he is going towards the chest, and he will have the Stones of Sunlight. So, 2 out of the 3 quest items obtained now for Hangry Canuck. Drops the dragon scale to make room for the stones. Of course, you retain the bonus acquired by the dragon scale as long as you did equip it at some point. You no longer need to have it in your inventory. Sometimes people will choose to keep either the fighter's ring or the dragon scale in their inventory so that when they are diving into the grave, for example, they can use that as an item in battle to intentionally suicide in a battle to set up a gold grind. But if you feel like you're not going to be doing that, then no more reason to have those cluttering up your inventory. And Edgeworth does have the sleep spell, by the way, so if he happens to run into a stone man or, you know, a handful of other enemies, the sleep spell can be useful.
Question in chat. What is 27 south and 37 east? We have not dug up that spot yet, to be honest.
Yeah, at least I didn't notice him counting that out. I'm pretty sure Edgeworth was the one that found Cantlin. And I just don't recall him counting that out. Maybe he feels like it's not countable and he's going to need the princess, but he didn't really head back in that direction either, so I'm not sure. I don't think we've seen anyone pick up the overworld item yet, but let's see. Synthpop is once again in the throne room and now finally gets his gold grind. And so we'll see if he wants to grind his way up maybe for the flame sword. He saw that in a nearby town. I don't know that we've seen the silver shield yet, have we? I keep looking for it. Not sure if we've seen it yet.
We have not, actually. I've been looking for it too. There's no shop that has it right now.
Yeah, he should at least make sure that he gets a little bit of extra gold for a large shield. If he goes ahead and gets the gold for the flame sword, which is 9,800, just get another 1,000 or 1,500 so you can get the large shield and, you know, buy some items and keys and stuff like that. He's going further though. Maybe he's going to get silver shield money just in case he finds it somewhere in his travels. So that's kind of a gamble. You take a little bit of extra time. And if you die, of course, you lose half your gold. So he's going to go ahead and grind up for some silver shield money to go along with the flame sword and the large shield that I assume he's about to buy and within a matter of minutes. And Lavkian is continuing his spike tile grind here. Interesting strategies all the way up to level 13 on this same spot. I feel like he started doing this on level 10. I think he wants to go all the way until he learns the repel spell, which is one of the interesting ways to approach exploration. So now he's just out of resources and is bailing out just a little bit short of the next level up. There's a town really close by too, which makes that grind even more favorable. It's just a few steps outside of the swamp cave is the town of Garenham. He's going to take a quick in stop and probably just go right back in there. A nice difference in strategies that we're seeing from some of the players here. And Edgeworth has just popped out from that cave, and he's continuing to explore on this continent.
Yeah, but don't forget, Lavkian does have the level advantage over Synthpop at this rate.
So I think for both the Hangry Canuck and for Edgeworth, the only thing they have left to find is the token, and I don't know if the Hangry Canuck got the coordinates yet. But I believe Edgeworth was the one that found the coordinates, and if the token is there, then you're just done. So, and he already knows where the jerk cave is, I'm fairly certain. So I'm not sure what all of this exploration is that Edgeworth is doing. It seems like he wants to find Garen's grave, and it's just, sometimes you can save yourself all that effort if you don't need to go in there. So I'll have to watch. Maybe he already went there and found the flute. I just wish I had noticed if he had counted that out. Oh, here we go. I think he might be counting it out now. Maybe.
Yeah, he's got to count out right now. I can tell he's going south right now.
And Lavkian just now finishes up his Hawksness search with the, there's nothing in Hawksness, of course. But he knows now that the Stone Man is there, so if he had to choose between the two grinds, which are really right close to each other, of course he would choose the Axe Knight in the Swamp Cave. So he's all set with that. Curious if he's actually just going to go right back in there and get more levels. I don't think he has Repel just yet on level 13, but he has accumulated a very large experience lead with this strategy of grinding on this Axe Knight before actually finding everything. I kind of like that plan in certain situations when you have an Axe Knight spike tile that's just kind of on your way of doing stuff. You could just say, oh, let me just stop here and just get several more levels, and then that'll make the rest of the seed that much easier. The risk, of course, is that if you get all the way to the point where you're ready to fight the Dragon Lord, well, now you haven't found everything yet, and it becomes like, you know, you might feel like you're losing ground on your opponent that actually has access to Charlotte Castle, and you don't. So he's going to have to play a little balancing act. He doesn't want to go too far to where that becomes an issue, but he can get a few levels and make his exploration just that much easier.
I won't be surprised if Lavkian goes to maybe level 15 or 16 before he starts searching for the token.
Ooh, and synthpopisback is checking the third shop in Cantland, and still no silver shield available. So there just may not be a silver shield in this seed. I feel like I've seen Edgeworth check every shop along the way, just in case. I don't think anyone's seen one. So... and synthpopisback grinded all that money just in case there was one somewhere. So that's one more shop that we know doesn't have it. And he's moving on. I didn't see, though, if he managed to buy a flame sword. He still has a whole bunch of money, so apparently he did not buy any weapon yet.
And speaking of being rated, Randomizer 1 has just joined us right now, so should we give him a little recap of what's going on up to?
Absolutely. Welcome everybody that was just finished up with, I'm going to draw a blank on this, but I know JJ Schmid was one of the members over there racing against, I think maybe it was Dataplet, so hopefully that was a great, interesting, and fun race to watch. And welcome everybody over here to a quad race where we have two different races going on simultaneously on the same seed. The Hangry Canuck facing off against Edgeworth, and Lavkian, who is going Strength Agility, is facing off against synthpopisback. And so let's see what happened here. We had Mountain Cave was very close to Tantegel Castle, where everyone eventually explored and found a magic key. They used that magic key to buy more keys in Tantegel. From there we found the harp, and we got a fairly early Hurtmore as well, I think at level 4. And so that broke the seed open. Very quickly also finding the town of Cole, which had the Erdrick's armor. So everyone basically had Erdrick's armor and Hurtmore pretty early on, and it's just a race to see how quickly everybody can find everything else that's on the map. Edgeworth with a pretty decent lead over the Hangry Canuck experience-wise at this point. And the Lavkian has created a huge experience lead. He has been grinding the the spike tile on the swamp cave, which happens to be an Axe Knight, for 4 levels now. He's just been here. He has not finished exploring the world. He has not yet found the Stones of Sunlight or the token. He has just taken a timeout and grinding up a giant lead over synthpopisback. So at some point, he's going to want to try and find everything that's required, but that's what's been going on. And as we saw, Edgeworth also checked that 3rd shop for the silver shield as well. So we may not have a silver shield in this seed. And is that about cover it, Keaton? What else have you noticed so far? Anything else going on? And we're going to have Edgeworth now going back to the coordinates. So it may have been someone else. Maybe it was someone on the bottom screen that had the coordinates checked out earlier.
Where
that makes
is
more sense now.
Synth right now?
Synth is in the grave, the first of our runners to find the grave. So we'll have 3 quick chests up here, and then we'll have to see if he uses one of his keys to go down below, if he can survive. There's red dragons kind of everywhere in the seed, including in the grave. So Edgeworth double checking those coordinates, or maybe checking them for the first time. It may have been synthpopisback that found the coordinates early on, and I just mixed it up. I knew it was on the right side of my screen, so I'm sorry if I messed that up earlier, but Edgeworth is counting it out.
Synth has found the token.
Oh, it's in a chest.
Grave.
So, interesting. Edgeworth will be finding the flute if he manages to complete this count. The token is actually in a chest in this seed, and it's in the grave. So, big find for synthpopisback, especially since the grave seems to be pretty difficult to find. It's one of the very last things that's been found, and he's the first one to find it. Now, unfortunately for him, he has not found the stones. He never found the town of Rimmildar. So he's going to dive down into the lower levels of the grave, which of course are going to be unnecessary unless you are looking for something like the Death Necklace or, you know, maybe the Fighter's Ring or something like that. But he's going to get whacked by a red dragon anyways. So there you go.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Death Necklace could be at Charlock.
And Ryu recognizes, yeah, this is on synthpopisback screen. He's using the same version of the ROM that I use in my races, and I'm not even sure why I have it or for what reason. It just seems like it's different from everybody else's. It's just like a graphics hack. It has no effect on gameplay. But synthpopisback is also using it. That's interesting. You'll see that some of the walls and the bricks have a different look to them, among a few other minor changes. Oh, we have a reset for synthpopisback. I'm not sure what that was about. Hopefully he actually just did a save. I'm not sure. Okay. Wait a minute.
Oh no.
Did he lose his progress in the grave? I don't know what just happened there, guys, but he has a whole bunch of gold that I think he wants to hold on to. I wish I could have seen when he last saved. Hopefully he knows what he's doing and he didn't lose anything there. So, yeah, because if he just lost his token, he's going to have to go back into that grave, which I don't think is that easy to get to. So, we'll watch and see what happens. If he opens his item screen for any reason, let's look and see if he has the token.
Ooh, I just hope he didn't lose everything.
Isn't a similar experience point total? I think he was in the low 1000s, but yeah, I'm not sure. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that as Lavkian, who is running against synthpopisback, has finally finished fighting that Axe Knight. He gained 5 levels fighting that one Axe Knight and has now found the grave. He is in the process of just moving through the rest of the seed. And a lot of these fights are probably going to be much easier now for Lavkian as he is on level 15. So he's actually fighting his way through Red Dragon. He has the spell of Heal More now as part of his grind. I'm not sure if he learned Repel. I guess we'll see the next time he heals up. But that is one of the advantages. He never did learn Repel, so we have a level 16 Repel in this seed. But I figure maybe Heal More was one of his other things that he was looking for. And gets through the red dragon fight. Now he has a blue dragon. So continuing to gain levels as he works through the grave here.
Is it kind of safe to say this is more like the Fun Police seed?
There have been a lot of red dragons. It's I don't remember if they have any abilities, but I mean, if you do not have the agility to be able to run away from a red dragon and you can't do damage to it, they're gonna send you home. So, but thankfully for Lavkian, he grinded so many levels that he is now able to take on the red dragon. Remember, he has the Erdrick sword as well, so actually doing enough damage to the red dragon. And this time he manages to get away. And remember also that Lavkian is running strength agility, so at this point in the game he'll have a little bit more agility than his opponent. And he does find the token. So token for Lavkian. All he needs now is to find the town of Rimmildar, which has the Stones of Sunlight.
Well, we saw since his item list, he lost the token.
Oh, and Edgeworth has the grave now finally as well. So I believe he picked up the flute on his travels. Now he knows that this token has to be in the grave. I believe he has seen all of the other chests. And there it is, token for Edgeworth. He is now in grind mode. He knows where the Rainbow Drop Cave is. Just checking these last couple of chests in case he could pick up a fighter's ring or a death necklace along the way. But he is ready to just grind levels. Let's see if he picks that Axe Knight from the Swamp Cave, or if he's going to go after some Stone Men in Hawksness or some other plan. But he's done. He's got everything he needs. He's ready for the end of the game now. And he's going to have to make do with the large shield, as we didn't see any silver shield in this seed.
I just look at Sin's inventory, and he also lost the sword.
I actually am not convinced that he ever found the sword, because he had grinded up enough gold for a flame sword. I think he was the only one of our runners that he just never found the town of Garenham, so he hasn't been back there for the sword yet. But if he found the token, and what's worse is he may not even realize that he lost the token on that reset. And again, the grave was way up in the northeast corner of the world. It's a very long walk from Tantegel Castle, and now he's in Hawksness. So synthpopisback, having kind of a tough race so far. Some things are going wrong for him, while Lavkian is just running up the level advantage. And now he's going through the bottom of the grave because, again, he doesn't have the stones. So he's continuing to look. And we're going to get to see... Did anyone catch what was in that second to last chest in the grave? As he goes now for the last chest.
Yeah, Synth has his sword, but has the Edric sword. But right now, I don't know if he's going to make it to catch up to Lavkian at this rate, since Lavkian has a huge EXP gap right now.
Alright, so there's an herb in the very bottom chest in the grave. I missed what he found in the second to last chest. Because it very well could have been the death necklace or the fighter's ring, so if it was, it would be nice to know that. And here we're going to have a look at the stats again. Because level 15 for Lavkian has a very low strength score. That is going to be the key statistic. And even if he did find the death necklace, we're not even close to entertaining the idea of using it. And this is a situation where strength agility has sometimes a disadvantage, because he's going to have right now 7 or 8 less hit points on this level than his opponent. And he does not have enough hit points to fight the Dragon Lord. So this could be one of those seeds where strength agility has to gain an extra level or 2 before fighting the Dragon Lord. So we'll keep an eye on that as well.
Well, Lavkian decided to take the Death Dwarf back to the castle, so I'm guessing he's going to go back to Swamp Cave.
Well, Lavkian does not yet have the stones, so he is still exploring. He's not in endgame grind. Now, we see that Edgeworth is fighting an Axe Knight. I think he is on that spike tile, and he is doing his endgame grind. So he's going to be on this Axe Knight for a very long time, as we see level 15 is not enough. So, several levels. Fortunately for him, there's a town very close to this spike tile. So he'll be able to go out and heal whenever he needs to. He already has the Heal More spell on level 13, so this is a very easy grind for Edgeworth. And Lavkian is probably looking for Well, let's see. He now has fully dived the grave and the mountain cave. So there's just a couple of those little chests left. Of course, we know the stones are in the town of Rimuldar. I'm trying to think if he has personally seen the tablet cave, for example. But yeah, when you don't have the stones and you've been through the grave and the mountain cave, that's a little bit unusual. And you're thinking, all right, which little singleton chests have I missed? You know, I've seen the treasury also. I've seen the Garanham chests. There's 3 other singletons out there. There's one in the town of Rimuldar. There's one in the bonus Stones of Sunlight cave. And there's one in the tablet cave. So he's trying to figure out which one he missed and is on the hunt for the town of Rimuldar.
And Edgeworth is just grinding on these axe knights at Swamp Cave. It's not a bad strategy at all right now, considering he is near Sharlock anyway.
And 20 hit points gained on level 14, which gets him a little bit into a more comfortable spot. Still not enough hit points on level 14 to win, although he's on a strength HP build, so he'll have a bit more than Lavkian did at level 14, but he's about to run out of resources, so he's going to see if he can make it out of here alive and hop over to that town. Because if he doesn't, and he does not, now he's going all the way back to Tantegel, so... Yeah, so he's going to have to walk back to where he's able to do that grind. And let's see, Hangry Canuck, meanwhile, still is going to need to get that token out of the grave, which is way up in the northeast corner. He's just kind of looking for that one last thing. And the Hangry Canuck also now is losing ground on the experience battle as well, as Edgeworth is just grinding Axe Knights over and over. He is now has a 2,000 experience deficit while he is continuing to look for that token. Alright, so what's happening with synthpopisback now? Has he made it back into the mountain cave now? I'm not sure what he would be looking for in the mountain cave. I could have sworn everyone had seen all the chests, but maybe not. He also looks like he's taken a couple of deaths and has a lot less gold, unless he has upgraded some equipment. I apologize, I'm a little lost on his end. They're saying he does have the Erdrick sword now, so the only thing that he really needs to buy now is that large shield. There isn't a silver shield available for purchase. So he has more than enough gold. I'm not sure why he's back in the mountain cave. He must have missed one of the chests on his first run through. And just wants to make sure that the quest items are not there. And Red Dragon for Lavkian. We've seen that Red Dragon all over the place. But he's in a position where he can fight Red Dragons. So no longer a concern. It's just a nice 255 experience points for him. And he just needs about 1,000 more to get to level 16, while he is continuing to hunt for the grave so that he can find the Stones of Sunlight. Oh, I'm sorry. The town of Rimuldar, rather, for the Stones of Sunlight. Apologize for that.
And another reset for Synthpop. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, I would like to know that as well. I'm not sure. When you reset, you lose all the experience that you've gained up till that point. He just really does not need to hold on to the gold at all. So that's usually the main reason why people reset. Basically, there's 2 reasons. One is if you're just dying so often in the early game that you want to just save a few seconds when the king has to lecture you and revive you and all that. You can just reset your game. It's a little bit faster. But also, if you have a gold grind and you want to hang on to your gold, you may want to reset while you're just running from a town and not even fighting anything. But he is fighting things and then resetting them. Kind of would love to know why we've seen a couple of resets from him. But, let's see, we had I guess the Hangry Canuck maybe... Let me see the items. because he was in the Jerk Cave in the basement of Tanteagle. Maybe he had never checked that, so now he knows where that is. Because according to us, he still has not found the token in the grave.
I just wonder if Synth is on tilt.
The only other thing I can think of is if on his end, like some people play on, like, not really on an emulator, but on an original cart, and maybe having some like technical issues and feeling like he has to physically reset his system sometimes. Maybe the stream is coming through on our end and like scrambled up on his end. I mean, I'm just speculating, but there's not really a reason that I can think of for him to be hitting the reset button. So if he happens to chat with us afterwards, I'd love to know that. But meanwhile, Lavkian is making his way to the back. So did he find the stones? Because he's kind of on his way back towards the Jerk Cave now, as if he wants that rainbow drop.
Unless he's planning to buy more keys.
Yeah, he's topping off on his keys, but he is going back here. So he must have found the town of Rimuldar while I was looking in a different direction. Let's see if he is able to get this rainbow drop, and that will tell us for sure. Yep. So he found the stones, so we can mark off the stones for Lavkian, and we now have the drop for Lavkian. And he is in official grind mode as well, and he's probably going to go back to that Axe Knight. And we're just an hour and 4 minutes in, and we have a couple of players that are getting ready to finish the game. So we've had a nice, comfortable, sort of, not like super fast, but pretty comfortable progression through this seed. You know, the levels are coming easily for the runners for the most part, with the exception of getting sent home by the occasional red dragon. Seems like they're making pretty good pace here. Nice work of this seed. We may have several levels left to go. If we look at these stats, we're really hurting for strength. And on Lavkian's side, he's going to need some more hit points. So this might be a level 17 or level 18 kind of seed. Could have several more minutes of grinding remaining. But Lavkian should be in go mode now. He's got the drop. And Hangry Canuck, I think he still needs one more quest item. So he is continuing to lose ground to Edgeworth. He had like only a 1,000 experience deficit, and now that has grown to about 4,000, while Edgeworth is efficiently gaining experience. Hangry Canuck continues to kind of wander the overworld searching for one last location. And Synthpop is going back for that token, so he has refound the token in the grave.
Let's just hope he saves this time.
Absolutely. If you plan on doing any resetting, you might want to save your game first. That is a good tip. Just checking his status there. Yeah, so let's take a look at these stats, by the way. So we have we'll start with Edgeworth since he's strength HP. You can see he has on the same level as Lavkian now, so you can directly compare. He has 7 more hit points than Lavkian. Well, Lavkian's on 16 now, but Lavkian had 84, and now Lavkian has managed to get a nice big HP gain, so that's no longer a concern for the strength agility build. He got a really good HP boost, allowing him to cross the threshold necessary to fight the Dragon Lord. And Lavkian has now all green and orange stats, so he is actually really close. He's going to need some more strength, but that's really the last thing. He's got plenty of magic. The agility score is not terrible. It could be better, but it's not terrible. We still don't have any shield listed for Lavkian. That would be surprising, since he has plenty of gold for a large shield at this point. I'll have to see if... So you can't always tell from these alternate sprites if they're carrying a shield. But defense power aside, the attack power really is the last thing that Lavkian needs. Unfortunately, the Death Necklace, even if they had it, it's not anywhere near being in play in order to boost that attack power. So he's just going to have to get the attack power from a level up. So every time he gains a level, we're going to be looking for one stat, and that's power. And he needs quite a lot of it. He needs probably about 20 more power right now to really have a reasonable chance to win.
Well, even with Edgeworth, he only has like 68 straight. He needs more than maybe just possibly like maybe plus 25 he needs on the strength.
Yeah, because he's one level behind Lavkian. They'll have their strength scores will match when he gets to level 16. But yeah, so he's going to need about 25 more. He's going to get, when he gets to 16, he'll get that big HP boost, and he'll have more HP than Lavkian. And eventually it might get to the point where he will have a better shot at getting double attacks. If he gets into that 120 realm for HP, he might get some double attacks where he'll need just a little bit less strength. If it ends up being a borderline level in terms of strength, that could come into play. But he is about 2 or 3 Axe Knights away from getting to 16. Lavkian is about 5 Axe Knights away, maybe 6 Axe Knights away from getting to level 17, which happens at 12,000 experience points. And they both are going to use up their resources every time. And there's a nearby town if they so choose. Not sure if Lavkian's going to make it before he has to go back and heal. It's going to be kind of close.
And there's level 16 for Edgeworth.
Alright, so we got the nice HP boost. You can see the difference. There's a 9 hit point difference now between the hit point build and the agility build. And that will come into play even if they don't get to the point where they could use the Death Necklace, which they haven't found yet. But it may or may not be in the treasury in Charlotte Castle. Even if they got to like the 120 or 125 hit point total, the HP build will have a much better chance of getting double attacks. So if it turns out to be a really borderline level on 17, sometimes the HP build has a little bit of an edge there. But on the other hand, it's nice to have that agility in a low agility seed like this one. It still kind of is. If there could be red dragons all over the place in Charlock, you're going to want a little bit better chance to run away from those red dragons on your way down to the Dragon Lord. So that is the main advantage that Lavkian will have with the agility build. And unfortunately, the defense power is going to be a little on the low side because there's no silver shield. So that, if anybody had the thought of fighting their way down for one more level and getting the level at the bottom, it's actually much more difficult to do that when you're not defense breaking the Charlock enemies. So they're going to probably want to sit on this Axe Knight until they actually get the level they need in this particular case. So Lavkian and Edgeworth just have a little bit more work to do on these Axe Knights, and hopefully Hangry Canuck is going to be able to find the last quest item he needs so that he can join in then this grinding party. The Axe Knight corpse party, I suppose. Let's see. He's making his way. I think he's near where the grave is. Isn't it up in that desert? Maybe it's a different part of the map. It's way up in the northeast corner for the grave, which has that token. I think it very well may be directly north of where he is right now, up in that desert that he kind of passed on. He took a southward turn into the swamp. I think it's up to this northeast in this desert. If he can get there without dying to this red dragon, that would be helpful.
Nope, red dragon says, I'll just destroy your dreams right now.
Yeah, and he's on level 13. When did they learn Heal More? I thought they had Heal More at 13. Maybe it's 14 that you get Heal More. Because he just kept running, he wasn't trying to heal there. That's too bad.
Yeah, I believe it was 14 you get the heal more. Because it came in pretty late.
Yeah, that's yet another reason why I like Lavkian's play of doing the early grind on the Axe Knight, because when you have seen enough of the map to know that the red dragons are just everywhere, it's nice to just make sure that you get heal more so that you can survive those battles. So I'm liking that strategy more and more. It's a little bit of a gamble again, because you're not exploring the map while that's happening. But he leveled up all the way to the point where he got heal more before doing anything else, and that seems to be paying off for him now. Confirmation from Wolfman, our restreamer, that they learned it at 13. So I didn't catch if he happened to have no MP at the time, but he maybe could have tried to heal more himself up to just give himself more chances to run away from the red dragon. If he just learned it, maybe he just didn't really remember that he has it because, you know, they've gone so long without it. But more and more Axe Knights are hitting the deck. We have Edgeworth less than 500 points away from 17, and Lavkian has finally gotten back in here after a healing trip, so he's making his way towards level 18.
I'll be not surprised if Death Necklace could be at Vanilla Sword location in Sharlock, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, if they get a really big HP boost and like no power, all of a sudden they're going to want to know where that is. And if they've seen all the chests, like Lavkian dove into the bottom of the grave, so I think he may have seen all the chests, then he will know for sure that it's in Sharlock, and he might actually go hunting around for it. If they don't get enough HP to use the Death Necklace, then we're just really looking for power gains. 118 now on level 17 for Lavkian. It's still just really not very close. With only 100 MP, you need at least, 130 or more attack power here to even give it a shot. Defense power is not great. Hit points are not great. You really just need the correct ratio. My chart with 100 MP, you're going to want 132 attack power to really be comfortable in the Dragon Lord fight. So 18 might not even be enough. We're going to have to see if they get a big power boost here when Lavkian gets to 18. That's at 14,250 experience. So that's approximately 8 or 9 more Axe Knight battles, and he doesn't really have any more magic, so he's going to have to heal up if he wants to do that. Edgeworth was able to get 17 before having to go back to heal, and he knew right away that that's not enough, so he's moving on to 13 as well. Lots of Axe Knight grinding going on. Lavkian's been here basically since level 10. He went from level 10 to level 15 on these Axe Knights. Then he took a quick detour to go out and grab the last few quest items. And then he just came right back in here. So he's probably had just about enough of these Axe Knights. But he's going to need to at least get to 18. And it is the most efficient way of getting there. So back to Garenham we go. This innkeeper sees a friendly face. Very familiar with Lavkian's face here, this innkeeper. Another healing trip. And another trip back into the cave goes Lavkian, and Edgeworth is on his way out. They're going to do a little high five on the way in and out of this cave. And Edgeworth taking out a Magic Wyvern on the way, so gaining the experience as he goes. Hangry Canuck has popped out of that same cave, but he is still on the hunt. Man, did he actually miss where where the grave was? It was really, he was right there. It just was up in that desert. He took a turn down into the swamp. Way up in the northeast corner. He's got to get up there. Not sure, he just keeps kind of walking around in the same areas. I guess I'm not sure what's happening with the Hangry Canuck there. Continuing to explore. Synthpopisback, meanwhile, has gotten going. He's up to level 11 now. And he has that token. He found that grave pretty early on. And he has a bit more to do. He probably needs to find the town of Rimmildar, which was relatively difficult for all of our runners to find. And the chest in Rimmildar has the Stones of Sunlight, so he's looking for that. Angry Canuck needs the token, and our other runners are busy grinding Axe Knights. Lots and lots of Axe Knights, 130 experience each. They can be taken out probably once every 20 or 25 seconds or so. You're going to be gaining thousands of experience every few minutes. We are very close on Lavkian's screen. I think he's going to be just short with this Axe Knight kill. He's going to need one more after this, and then let's take a good look and see what he gets for power. All things considered, though, this is still a pretty fast seed, considering that they do have to get to level 18 to finish the game. We're still only an hour and 18 minutes into this seed. Considering all the grinding that needs to happen, they've made their way through the map pretty quickly in this one. Angry Canuck has explored Garenham. Now he's casting Return. And if he still has not found that grave, he just went in the wrong direction. So he's on the move once again, going north, back up through the map. Maybe just trying to see all these caves. Like, what have I missed? That's not it. Let's go to the next one. There are red dragons right in this little pass here.
Well, we have Lavkian at borderline strength power for Dragon Lord at level 18.
Aha, so what, he picked up 5 strength, that we're saying, right? So 123 attack power, and he gained 1 additional heal more as well, up to 107 MP. The low 120s just almost never is enough. And he, of course, does not have enough for Death Knight. Let's see now, at 122 hit points, Edgeworth up there has a much better chance at double attacks. It's just so iffy, though. On my chart, with 122 or 123 attack power, you need about 144 MP, however many heal mores that is. And so he is like 3 or 4 heal mores short of that. With 122 hit points, you can kind of count on getting some double attacks, but it's probably just a little too iffy. And if there's like any red dragons or anything like that at all in Sharlock, their agility stats just are not really that high. They don't have the silver shield. It's just, I would not go for it here if I were Edgeworth, although it's really close. And it's one of those spots where you'd kind of want to grind your way down for 19, because you sort of know that 19 is usually going to be the level. Problem is, they don't have the silver shield, so they're not able to really defense break any of the Sharlock enemies except for the wizard right now. So that makes fighting your way down just significantly worse, because you don't want to be burning magic while you're fighting your way down. That kind of defeats the purpose. So back into the swamp cave goes Edgeworth, and he's going to fight some more Axe Knights. Probably a little bit annoyed at being so close, but really it's the right move to just get one more level on these Axe Knights. And it almost certainly is going to be go time on 19 unless we have a true empty-eye power gain.
Please, no more empty-eye levels. I can't handle this.
Yeah, like for Edgeworth, because he has a reasonable hit point total now, even one more power, I would probably go for it if I were him. If he just had 124 attack power instead of 123, all of a sudden now you're looking at needing, in theory, only 128 MP. And so you could make up that difference with 3 double attacks. At that point, it might actually be doable. So if that's how close it is for Edgeworth right now. So 19 is almost definitely going to be the level unless we get some horrific level up. So, and remember, for everyone out there too, that Lavkian and Edgeworth are not actually racing directly against each other in this particular race. This is 2 separate races within the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament. It's the first round of our 5 Swiss rounds. It looks like Hangry Canuck now is about to count out the coordinates, hoping that that's the token. We know now that it's the flute. But this is the first round of a 5-round Swiss-style tournament where all the matches are head-to-head. So the Angry Canuck is playing against Edgeworth in this race, and Lavkian is playing only against synthpopisback here. So 2 different races, even though it's the same seed. It's still going to be fun to see who finishes first between Lavkian and Edgeworth, because they are actually very close. Only a 500 experience point lead does Lavkian have over Edgeworth, and they're getting close to level 19, which is at 16,500 points. Both of them, I believe, have the resources on this trip into the Axonite to do it without healing up again. So in a matter of the next minute or so, we're going to take a look at level 19.
And I'm like, can we just have Edgeworth versus Lavkian? Because that would be more interesting. Who's ever going to be grinding the best build possible?
Yeah, it's going to be close between the two. They're going to be running through Sharlock at the same time. So, and it's also going to be interesting to see how the HP seed fares against the agility seed, because we do have 10 additional hit points for the HP seed on level 18. Which is significant when it comes to double attacks and just the dive itself, surviving battles, needing to heal, and so on. So, let's see. Lavkian just got out of there, so did he get the level? Let's see what we have for level 19. Okay. Yep, there we go. So he's got what he needs. He got 9 more attack power, more than enough, 132 attack power. And a whole bunch of magic to go with it. That was the magic level. This is a very easy fight from here. At 132 attack power, you need really only about 12 heal mores, which is 96 MP. So he's going to have, 3 or 4 heal mores to spare, and he's got some HP to work with for double attacks. He got a really good agility boost, so running away from red dragons are going to be significantly easier. He's got 86 defense power now, so he doesn't have to worry about high physicals from the Dragon Lord. It's go time, and unless he gets slept and wrecked by something surprisingly in Sharlock, he should have this victory here. And Edgeworth also just now got 19, just about a minute behind Lavkian here. He's going to exit, he's going to heal up, he's going to go for Sharlock.
And now it's time for that favorite time. Time to dive into Sharlock, which is stopped by foot police right now on Lavkian's side.
So we've had red dragons all over the map, and now they're in Sharlock as well. So that agility build that Lavkian has will help for that particular situation. It's going to be, several percentage points easier for him to run away from red dragons than it is for everyone else. And that can save you a heal more if you can run away from the red dragon when somebody else can't. He does burn one here just to be safe. He has plenty of extra MP at his disposal, so no need to take a risk there. So he's 1 heal more down. See how many red dragons he runs into. Edgeworth is closing in on Sharlock, just running away from everything that gets in his way. He knows he doesn't need to fight any more monsters for the rest of the game, except for the mini-boss and the Dragon Lord.
And I just realized that regular knights have Dragon Lord breath.
Who was that? I missed it. Who had Dragon Lord breath?
Knights!
Oh, I had not noticed that for the whole game, so yeah. There were quite a few Dragon Lord breaths, I think, throughout the seed. And there were a lot of red dragons, just which you never want to see. We have the grave again for synthpopisback. I thought that he already went in here and got his token, did he not? So he's in here again, perhaps thinking about a gold grind, but there's really nothing left to spend money on. So not totally sure what's happened here, but he's grabbed just a couple of chests and is taking a U-turn and is getting out of here. Well, Hangry Canuck, is he really still hunting for the grave? Well, it looks like he's actually counting the coordinates. Let's hope he gets there soon, because he's going to be disappointed, because that is the fairy flute and not the token. Still counting that out, and he's actually running a little low on resources. Now he's getting blocked by a knight, so his count has been interrupted. So back to the castle he goes. And now we're on that U-shaped room for Lavkian, which is the third zone of enemies, which contains the Axe Knight, among other things. And Edgeworth is in the middle zones with a nice walk on that one. And he's like 1 or 2 floors behind Lavkian, really just about a minute or so behind. Lavkian has made his way to the bottom floor of Charlotte Castle. And there's that U-shaped room for Edgeworth. So just trailing behind Lavkian by just a short little while here. They're not going directly head to head, but it's fun to see how close this race was between those two. And wasting no time, Lavkian declared a fool, and he's on to Dragonlord 1. And fishing for that stop spell so that he can conserve some HP. Unfortunately, the second attack was not enough. But he's done using herbs. He's just going to say 91 hit points is enough. He's got plenty of MP to spare, so just for the sake of speed, just moving on to the Dragonlord 2 fight. We got a 16 to start things off and a 10. And he should probably have 3 or 4 heal mores to spare at the end of this battle. So he's up to about 40 total. That's 48. That's probably a minimum roll. You don't want to see too many single-digit rolls here, but still, no cause for concern. And Edgeworth is about to face the Dragonlord as well. We have 58 for Lavkian. $73. $86 maybe? I'm not the greatest at counting these out, but he's got a plethora of MP at his disposal. 99, I think. Somebody else can keep track of Edgeworth on his. Again, just about a minute behind. I'm going with 114. As long as he doesn't make a menu mistake or take an unnecessary risk. It's a couple of hits away. 129 now. Dragonlord could have between 150 and 165 hit points. It's randomized between that range. And let's see. Could be the next attack, or it could take one more beyond that. That was a low roll anyways at 11. Gonna go with the safety heal more just in case. It's likely going to be the next attack for Lavkian, and there it is. Thou hast found the ball of light, radiance streams forth, and he is going to take a quick return trip back to Tantegel Castle. Get your GGs out for Lavkian, the winner of the Lavkian versus synthpopisback race. And we'll get an official time in a few moments, just over an hour and a half on a level 19 seed, so very nicely done. And I forgot that he actually had Gwaelin here, so has to wait a few extra seconds to actually complete his run. And there it is. Well done for Lavkian. very nice race. I really liked the middle game strategy of grinding on those Axe Knights before actually getting everything. It paid off for him in this because a lot more levels were required, as it turns out. So it did not cost him anything to go ahead and do that. Lavkian, congratulations.
Thank you. Do I sound like a chipmunk or no?
Sounds good to me.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, you're actually the first of our 4 runners. Edgeworth is moments away from defeating the Dragon Lord right now, but your opponent, synthpopisback, is having some struggles. And, yeah, tell me about the seed overall, and then I have a couple of questions for you.
That was as kind of a start as you could possibly ask for. Wow, yeah, I just saw Edgeworth got the dot done in there. I was kind of wondering who, since we were doing the same seed, who was going to finish first. I was really curious about that. Good to see that he was able to finish in a pretty close time.
Yeah.
But what's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say, because it seemed like Edgeworth had a bit of a lead on you, if you guys, as if you guys were going head to head for kind of the early part of the game, and then you made that interesting decision to just stop what you were doing and grind about 5 levels on Axe Knights in the middle of the game. So tell me about that decision, because I feel like that really paid off for you.
Yeah, no, that I felt like that was absolutely the correct decision, because in the exploration that I had done. Oh wow, Hungry Canuck finished right behind Edgeworth. Good for him. Oh dang, yeah, Synthpop is back. Oh, he meant to forfeit. Oh, I see. No, and I don't blame Synthpop for forfeiting the seed at all, because so yeah, the start of the seed was great. Like, I knew once I saw that starting gold, I was like, okay, I'm gonna save. I'm gonna go look for a town. I might take a couple of minutes. And then, fortunately, it was Cole right there with the armor and a hand axe for sale. Like, there's not... Like, the only better starts you can really get are, like, level 1 Hurt More or Erdrick's Sword, really. And so I was very happy to see that. But then after doing that, just a little bit of early exploring, I mean, it was... The possible ways that I kind of saw it to go were to explore Mountain Cave, which... I exited Mountain Cave immediately because I thought it was tablet. When I did my bonks, I didn't go right and check that bonk. If I'd known that was mountain, I would have checked it earlier. But I'm kind of glad I didn't, because that Mountain Cave was pretty nasty. And so seeing that Mountain Cave was pretty nasty. There was a little spot where you could kind of, as you were going south to what I think was Garenham, I don't remember what city was kind of on that southern edge. But there was a place between start and the southern edge where you could go left, and it kind of opened up a little bit. And it turned out that there was nothing there. But the first time I went there, it was wizards with Dragonlord breath. So I'm like, okay, I can't go that way right now. My stats are too low. Every time I went north, I was running into red dragons, so I couldn't really make progress that way. And so as soon as I found the Swamp Cave, I was like, all right, I'm checking Swamp Cave, and I'm going to see what this boss is. And as soon as I saw it was an Axe Knight, I was like, I'm stopping here. And I really thought if I hadn't accidentally died to an Axe Knight, I might have gone all the way to 16, because I really wanted Repel. Heal More was a big boon, obviously, and that's why I didn't go back. But I was really, really hoping for Repel, because, I mean, my God, there were just weak enemies all over the place that were, like, probably added a couple extra minutes to the seed. So that was the thought process I had there.
At the time, I did think that you were fishing for the Repel spell, and the more you just kept getting it, the more I knew you guys didn't have it. And yeah, you stayed there for 5 levels, I believe, and yeah, I think getting the Heal More spell as well was great, because you could work your way through those red dragon battles. They seemed to just be everywhere.
Yeah, they were, and we didn't even have heal either. Like that, like wow, that was so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you do a lot of those a grind like that in the middle of the game, you run the risk of like not finding everything before it's time to finish the game. But I think you knew that we needed a lot more levels. So just getting some of those key spells, like stopping, getting a few levels, I really liked the strategy there. I think it really paid off for you.
Yeah, and my thought process at the time, because I had the silver harp, and once I got sleep, I went and killed the golem, and there was nothing there, so I knew the map coordinates. I didn't need to check those, and the token was going to be sitting in a chest somewhere. I knew I needed to find the token and the Stones of Sunlight. I was hoping they were both going to be in the grave. Unfortunately, I ended up having to find Remolder, which I found by complete accident. When I found Remolder, I thought I'd loop my way back around to Cantman, and I was like, oh god, please let the Stones of Sunlight be here so I don't have to go fishing for the freaking tablet cave. And, you know, fortunately they was the Stones of Sunlight, and then just did my grinds. One thing I'm curious about, and I see Edgeworth is here in chat. Edgeworth, were you running strength HP?
Yep.
What level did you finish at?
19.
Oh, okay, so we finished at the same level. I was getting a little bit worried as my HP got higher, but not quite enough to grab the death necklace, that strength HP might have been able to get the death necklace and finish early. But then once I saw level 19 had that, I was looking for a little bit more strength on level 19, but when I saw that 20 MP, I was like, oh, it's go time.
Yeah,
So-
that was definitely it too. I didn't stop and grind early. I think I did pretty well navigating the overworld, just kept getting murdered on the way to Cantlin and the grave.
And that was and that was up to, and Jade asked me about that. And that was the reason why I stopped and grinded in the middle. I mean, I think by the time I found the swamp cave, I was maybe level 9 or 10 or something like that. And I was just like, I'll sit here until 16 if that's what it takes to get repel and heal more. Unfortunately, I did take an accidental death. Or I think I was like right at level 15. But then when I saw like my stats it had improved significantly. I'd already found the sword, which I think was in Garanham. And so, yeah, at that point I was like, all right, I'll just kill stuff on the map and try to get the rest of the items. And I'm impressed that, you know, you having not done that, like we finished like really, really close. So good job.
Yeah, let's hear from everyone in turn here. I guess Edgeworth, what were your overall impressions of the seed? Of course, it was a quick start, as Lavkian mentioned, but yeah, just overall, what'd you think?
It was pretty straightforward. The only thing is I had a ridiculously smooth Sharlock dive, like probably as fast as I've ever had in a tournament race. So that's probably what helped me make up a couple minutes.
Yeah, I would say so. My Sharlock wasn't super rocky. I think the first floor was a little bit rocky, and I got run blocked by a green dragon a couple of times, but it was pretty smooth.
Yeah,
It was just fun. It was just fun place all over the place.
Yeah, they were out in force, Edgeworth. You called that one in IRC.
Yeah, no fun allowed, but yeah, I mean, I was able to run from them like first or second try the entire dive, so that shouldn't happen normally. So I figured when you finished that the only reason I was so close was because of how smooth that went.
Yeah, I got run blocked. I think it was one of the times when I was walking back from Garanham to the cave. I got run blocked by a friggin' Magidraki at like 90 agility. Like, what the heck?
And I think we also have synthpopisback and the Hangry Canuck in here. I had a question for synthpopisback. There was a couple of times when it looked like you hit the reset button.
Synthpop's having audio issues. He's not.
Is he
right
really?
now.
Yeah, I wanted to know if something happened with his system or something, because he had hit the reset button at a point where he ended up like losing a quest item. It looked like, because it had erased a little bit of his what he had just done. I'm not sure. I'm kind of curious what happened there, but if he's having trouble with that, I don't know if maybe he's in chat or something and can hear us. But
I just asked him in IRC.
And how about
he's muted right now anyway. So
is the Hangry Canuck? Can you hear us here? What did you think about this one?
No, I got you guys. I gotta learn how to count. I think that's the main thing right there.
I saw that there were several attempts at that count, and at least once I think you ran into an enemy that sent you home. So
what were the coordinates? Since I walked into Cantlin and knew I didn't need them, so I just walked right back out. What were the coordinates?
Oh, so the coordinates were no good, in other words.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, coordinates were fairy flute. But what was the numbers?
27 south,
37 east.
Okay, that's not too bad. But yeah, counting is definitely a skill that it doesn't come up in every race, but yeah, it's definitely important. I grabbed the princess just in case the count was ridiculous, but that didn't sound too bad.
Well, quite honestly, this has been like it's my first race. I've only ever completed 2 seeds.
Oh,
I really only signed up for this tournament because this is the first RPG I ever played.
oh, awesome!
It's kind of got a little place in my heart. And I mean, I've ran a few practice seeds, and I mean, I've finished, 145, 150 on practice seeds. So, but I mean, I've come into this tournament. I'm not expecting anything. Like I said, I'm just here for fun, entertainment.
I mean, at the end of the day,
I was drinking tonight. Sorry, I mean.
Oh no! Don't apologize for that. I mean, fun is what we're all here for. So.
Yeah, it seemed to me like you knew your way around the game and were playing through the seed pretty well. You'll, if you do go ahead and watch this afterwards, you'll see with you and Edgeworth for the first, 7, 8, 9 levels, you were just slightly behind in experience, and it just kind of grew over time as you just had trouble finding, the last quest item, and Edgeworth was able to start grinding while you were still on the hunt for the last item. But before that, you were maintaining. It was relatively close, and it seemed like you knew how to move through a seed. So yeah, it's always good to see new players in the tournament, and you have 4 more matches coming up. So
yeah,
you do a little bit better each time, and you never know.
Yeah, I'm super excited because we got so many new people here, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. And I'm glad that we have like a really big field this year. I'm really, really happy about that.
Well, next time I won't schedule my match on a Friday on a long weekend when I'm drinking. It'll be good.
Yeah, I've heard from some people it actually helps their performance. I don't know, you never know. So it's a personal choice.
It actually wasn't a bad seed. GG to everybody. Good job, Edgeworth and Lavkian. You guys are definitely basic runners. And Edgeworth, man, I can't wait to watch you in the finals of the FFR tournament, buddy.
Oh, Edge, you made it to the finals. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I saw that nasty Kraken you had in the last seed that you played, but I didn't see the end of that. I'm glad that you moved on.
Well, me and Edgeworth have commentated together before, so it's kind of be a fan there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, always a good time. Maybe we can do that again for this tournament.
Edgeworth sounds ecstatic, as always.
As always.
So congratulations, of course. Edgeworth, you are now 1-0 in this tournament, and Lavkian, you're 1-0 as well. So you will...
So there's a potential that we could be playing in the second round, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And most likely you'll face another 1-0 opponent, which means competition gets tougher and tougher as we go here. And Hangry Canuck and synthpopisback, you guys are 0-1, but you have 4 more matches remaining and with which to try and put a win on the board. So good luck in your future rounds.
It's all part of the plan.
I think we're going to wrap it up here. We do have an upcoming race, I believe, that popped up onto the schedule late. I think it's going to be at 11 o'clock. Not sure if we're looking at this channel or one of our sister channels. It's probably in chat already. That might be over at Randomania.
Well, GG, Edgeworth, buddy. Good job, man.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah, GG, Synthpop.
Same to you, man.
Good luck with your next race.
Thank you very much.
And
I'll see you in the next round, Synth.
Shout outs to everyone doing the restream and commentary and tracking and all that. Thank you guys so much. Like it's going to be a lot of work over the next month or so, but it's a great community we got here.
Hey,
Absolutely.
I'm down for commentating. As everybody knows in the Final Fantasy community, I've got the best puns ever.
Puns are encouraged around here. I love it.
Yes, absolutely.
So we have a few links there for everyone that's still here in chat. Go ahead and follow our 4 amazing runners here tonight. Did a great job. Congratulations on a wonderful race tonight. special thanks to our restreamer behind the scenes. Wolfman 2000 does a great job putting on this production for us. We have a tracker tonight in Math Girl, I believe. Hopefully I'm getting that correct. And we have tonight it's Tyrannex. Tyrannex, congratulations on your huge victory, man, from earlier this week. And great job on the tracking tonight. We had everything go quite smoothly. And co-commentator Kaiten, that was fun as always. So yeah, let's wrap it up. I'm up to NG. We have plenty of more races happening over the next month or so, probably several races every day. So stay tuned to the Randomania Network as we go here for more round 1 races through the end of this week, and then we'll be moving on to the second round next week. And coming up again at 11 o'clock, we're going to have one more race tonight. I believe it's going to be McGrew.
It's like McGruber's bent glass tube.
Thank you. Couldn't find the second one there. So McGrew and bent glass tube at 11 o'clock, which is coming up in about 10 minutes. And so
yeah, I'll be sticking around for that. So yeah, everyone stick around and chat. Let's have some fun.
GG all. Good game
I will
tonight.
as well.
Thanks for letting me run with you guys at the very least. And good luck to the rest of you guys in the tournament.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
All right, GG.
All right, thanks to all the runners. And so that's it. Any last minute comments, Kaiten, as we wrap it up?
Let's just hope you have good Milsim RNG, everyone.
Absolutely. So thanks everybody for watching, and see you next time.
Good night.